So the rumors are already been prevailing in the market for the Z Fold 7 right now, after the launch of the Galaxy S25 Ultra, which we'll just talk about in the couple of next videos. Once I'll just receive that of mine, I just pre-ordered that one and just waiting on that one to arrive by Samsung. So shipment will be starting from the February 3rd in the Canada, and we'll be just seeing and looking after the device once it arrives. So let's talk about the Galaxy Z Fold 7, which is now being the first rumors that we are just getting after the launch of the after the Galaxy S25 Ultra. So what we can expect from the Z Fold 7? So as we can see, like the Z Fold special edition has been launched after the successful launch of the Z Fold 6, and we've seen like the Samsung have removed the digitizer from that device. And we are expecting for that to be removed from the Galaxy Z Fold 7, which will be just a letdown. And we can say like it's not a confirm that whether it will be removed or not, but that will be a global version for the Z Fold 7, which will be launched. And the chip will be replaced probably with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 to Snapdragon 8 Elite, which we are going to see, which we are seeing in the S25 Ultra. And yeah, so because always like the chip which is like on the Ultras always follows on the Z Folds lineup. So there we are just seeing the quite of might be disappoint some people that the S Pen functionality will be gone from the Z Fold 7. And the next thing we are just hearing from about the Z Fold 7 is the a bigger screen. So it's expected to be like the front screen would be just around 6.5 inches in thickness, which is on the positive side. And I would believe like Samsung is just cutting corners. Like if we talk about the S25 Ultra, so like this Bluetooth feature has been taken out from the S25 Ultra S Pen, which disappointed many of the people. However, Samsung claims that only less than 1% around people who use the S Pen Bluetooth function to take a snapshot or take a picture from their phone while using the S Pen. So it's the reason like Samsung have removed that one. And yeah, so I'm not sure like if you're the one who's just using the S Pen to take the picture, so obviously that's quite of a disappointment regarding that one. And yeah, if the S Pen will be just removed from the Z Fold 7 lineup as well, so that will be just quite a disappointment in terms of that, because many people are using the S Pen. However, one reason is that the Samsung is now trying to make the Z Fold 7 to be 12% thinner than the Z Fold 6, and if you want to just include the compatibility of the S Pen, so you have to just include the digitizer layers of the screen in the on the phone screen, which registers your S Pen and converts it into the touch input over the phone. So that could be the reason like Samsung is now trying to reduce the size of the thickness of the Z Fold 7. So that's the reason like it's now the rumors are arriving that these complete S Pen compatibility will be removed from the Z Fold 7. However, I would be quite disappointed if that would be the case. Nevertheless, like I never used the S Pen with the Z Fold 6 because I'm very much curious about like the damaging the inner screen if I push it too hard, and that could be the another reason like Samsung is not including the S Pen with the Z Fold 7, because of the inner screen is so much fragile. And if you talk about the chipset, so we are expecting to have the Snapdragon 8 Elite, which was on the S25 Ultra. And if since the screen has been increased and the digitizer is expected to be removed from the Z Fold 7, so we would just expect a bigger battery in that case, because that has been the quite an issue with most of the people when it comes to the Z Fold lineup. Like the batteries being followed like same as the from the Z Fold 4 lineup to up to the Z Fold 6. So we are just seeing the 4400 mAh battery, and once we just increase see the increase in this front screen size from to 6.5 inches, so we can just expect like there's more space, and Samsung would be accommodating that one for the battery. And the Snapdragon 8 Elite would just enhance the battery performance on the Z Fold 7 lineup, because that processor is around 40% efficient than what we get to see on the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. And obviously now the chips are getting much more efficient, so you don't need much more bigger battery. You can take example from the iPhone as well. Like iPhone have the considerably smaller battery on the iPhone 16 Pro Max, and the battery life has been amazing on that phone when compared to other phones in the market. Like that's like a benchmark you can say regarding the battery life, like how efficient that chip is, and utilizing that battery juice is what we believe is to be the benchmark, and that's one of the bestest phone you can get with terms to the battery life and the power efficiency, or you can say like the chipset itself is very much great on that device. So S24 Ultra has been great as well. S25 Ultra is expected to be great as well. As we can see, like the Snapdragon 8 Elite is a great chip. We've been just hearing lots of news about that chip since a long time, since its launch. And the chip that the Samsung is using is a little bit enhanced for the Samsung devices, for the Samsung devices, and we will just be seeing the same chip being used on the S25 Ultra to be used on the Z Fold 7 lineup, which will be the enhanced version of the Snapdragon 8 Elite for the Galaxy devices. And that would be just great if you can just see that one. However, I have to just try that chip in real life because I'm just waiting on my S25 Ultra. So yeah, we'll be seeing the bigger screen on the front, which is just great, which is like a complaint for most of the people. Like the screen size is still not enough for those people for the front screen. And the inner screen we are going to see over here would be the 8 inches in terms of diagonally, so which is a massive increase, I must say, like in terms of from 7.6 to 8 inches. That would be, you will just feel that thing. I'm not sure how the Samsung would just achieve that one in terms of the bigger screen without making the device bigger. Probably that would just make the device a little bit bigger, and I would assume like the borders would be just much more reduced on the inner screen as well as on the front screen to make the device much more sleeker, like you can see in the case of the S25 Ultra. So yeah, so if we talk about the Z Fold 6, so if we compare and we see like how the future prevails by seeing this device, I must say like the the camera should be improved on the Z Fold 7. And I mean, at least at minimum they should give the same camera setup as the S24 Ultra. Otherwise this would be just a bummer, because I'm just facing so much issue with this camera setup. Like it's not up to mark. It's like I would just compare it to the any sort of you can say mid-range phone that you can compare the camera of this phone to. The camera is just average, just if you want to just take a picture. However, like in terms of the flagship, like this is the flagship device from the Samsung, so I would assume like the camera should be improved on this one, giving all the bells and whistles that we at minimum get to see on the S24 Ultra. However, this device is so expensive, I would assume like the minimum they should give at least for the S25 Ultra setup on the Z Fold 7 lineup. Because if you just compare the competition, so like they've been offering pretty great cameras in terms of the foldables lineup that they're offering, and yeah, that this has to be improved. And one more thing, like seeing the S25 Ultra, that I've noticed like the colors are pretty much dull and bland kind of colors. Like those are not like I myself just struggling. I was just struggling to order like which color to order because I didn't like the color lineup on this one. In terms of like, I mostly like the bezels to be black, like on this 24 Ultra. You can see on the S23 Ultra, like with the exclusive colors, the black that you're getting is much more nicer. And if we see the normal colors on that one, so like I don't see, like they have just made it in a contrast kind of a black with the sides to be silver, which I don't like. I mean, maybe they're just trying to show off the all glory of the titanium. But yeah, I would just prefer the subtle black sides with the black phone would be much more appreciated if the Samsung would have given that one. So I wouldn't want to see those colors to be on the Z Fold 7 lineup. It should be like completely different. Like if we see this crafted black, so obviously I like this color a lot on the Z Fold 6 with the size to be like matching like that would just make the phone look much more sleeker and much more classy. However, with the S25 Ultra, this has not been the case in terms of the colors. Now what we can see like in terms of from Z Fold 6 to be carried over to the Z Fold 7 would be, I must say, like could be the screen, the inner screen and the outer screen. Like in terms of it's a 2 times LTPO display with 120 hertz display. However, the size would have been increased, but the resolution and everything could remain same. However, the inner screen could be just improved a little bit once we just go ahead and just see the bigger screen, inner screen and the outer screen. However, the screen has been great on this device. I didn't had any sort of issues, and I must say, like the Samsung, we are expecting to just get the little crease on the Z Fold 7, and it has to be reduced. We might see the greater IP rating on this one. Like the hinge has been really great on this phone. I didn't had any sort of trouble. Like you can see, after 6 months of use, it's still holding pretty much well. However, I'm just using the case which is just protecting the hinge, and still you can see the little bit dust is going inside or from the sides when you just close and open it again and again, and you can see like the dust is going inside. So this needs to be improved. However, I can see like if you see this device, so the screen opens flat all together. If you can see, there's no any kind of issue regarding the screen opening or the dust going so much, because I've been like really much careful with my devices. And Z Fold 6 is a little bit kind of a fragile device that you can see. I mean, all sorts of foldable lineups are like pretty much fragile kind of, and most of the people don't like the foldables because of the durability issues. And like each passing year, I'm just seeing these Z Fold lineup to be getting better. Like the issues which were like on the previous devices are not being overcome by the Samsung. However, few issues that I've mentioned are the crease on the screen is very annoying. The inner screen camera is pretty much not usable, so I would just say like to Samsung, just include the same punch hole camera on the inner screen on the Z Fold 7, which we could expect that one, because the inner display cameras are pretty much worse when it comes to the selfie or the usage. However, the most benefit of the Z Fold lineup is that the primary camera could be used as a selfie camera on these phones. Like you can just open the camera and you can just use it as a selfie camera, and you can see like you can take the selfie from the back, and you can keep it like on a stand like this. You can be at the back and you can take it as a selfie on this one. So yeah, that's the advantage of the foldable lineups. Like the versatility that you get to see on these devices is like next level. With each passing year, the software is also being optimized for these devices. Now, if we talk about the software, so we can just expect the Z Fold 7 to be a little better than the Z Fold 6. With the One UI 7, obviously once it comes to the multitasking, so the Z Fold lineup is much more, or you can say ahead of the regular S25 Ultra series, and that's made to be like a multitasking. So I would just assume like the multitasking capability on this one, especially on the inner screen, would be just far ahead when compared to the S25 lineup. Now, another thing that we can just expect from the Z Fold 7 that the Samsung needs to do is to increase the charging wattage on the phone. Like this is like a 25. This phone can charge up to like 25 watts, which is not great in today's world comparing to what the competitor has to offer. And I would say like if the Samsung is going to increase the battery, because we can expect that, and we're expecting that the battery could have been increased on this phone, so we need the better charging wattage on this phone. And I would just assume like this has to be the case with the Z Fold 7 lineup, because the 25 watts is like out of standard. Like that's not the standard of the current market, like because this is a flagship phone, so I wouldn't expect that to be coming with the 25 watts charging. The battery on the Z Fold 6 is 4400 mAh, and still I just feel like it's quite slow when it comes to the charging speeds on this phone. Now we are just expecting for the 4 models of the Z Fold lineup in the next year. Like we also just expecting for the Z Fold, which will be like a triple, or you can just say tri-fold, which is yet to be named, and we are not sure about that one, like whether it will be launched or not, or this year, like when it will be launched. But we are just expecting that one to be launched in the near future, the tri-fold Z Fold, while just watching to the competitors. However, the durability of the tri-folds, like I'm skeptical about that one, because I was just really much skeptical about the foldable phone lineup durability as well. However, by just using the Z Fold 6 myself, I can just say like it's a durable phone if it's just closed. If you drop it, like once the screen is open, so obviously the inner screen will be just gone, and that's quite expensive to just get it replaced. So I would just say like to just get a Samsung Gear if you just guys are buying the Z Fold lineup. However, if you're just pre-ordering these phones, so mostly the Samsung sometimes is just giving the free Samsung Care. Like in case of the Z Fold 6, they gave like a 1 year of Samsung Care, and the next year you can just trade in that one for the next year or newer Z Fold lineup phone. So yeah, so that would be just my suggestion, like to get the Samsung Care once you just get the Z Fold lineup, to just save some bucks in terms of if you break the screen. So yeah, so that's all for today, and I hope you guys like the video. If you guys have any questions, you can just let me know down in the comments, and I'll just try to answer those questions. And please like, share, and subscribe, and thank you for watching. Have a good day. Bye.